Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 6 of the Occasional Bugle podcast. I'm Andrew.
And I am Jonathan.
Jonathan, how's your week been?
Um, Uneventful. It's quarantine.
uh,
This is the most I've done all week,
this is the most productive thing I do any given week.
including homework.
So, we actually have news this week, so
Yeah.
I guess we'll just get right into it. So, first piece, I'm sure a lot of people have heard this, but John Krasinski has been meeting with Marvel.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
At this point, I think it's definitely for Fantastic Four.
See, I'm not a fan of the Fantastic Four.
That's a ridiculous thing to say.
I know. Like, I don't hate them. I'm just like if you said here's a Fantastic Four book, I wouldn't read it.
I mean, fair, but yeah, I think yeah, because for those who don't know, excuse me,
Nice.
John Krasinski has been people's top choice to play Mr. Fantastic for years now. Him along with Emily Blunt.
That's the only way I will accept him being Reed Richards is that if Emily Blunt plays the Invisible Woman.
Well, she had meetings with Marvel too,
Oh, okay.
like a couple months ago, I think. So I think it's more likely than not that this is happening.
Both have almost been Marvel characters before.
Yeah, yeah. John Krasinski was almost Captain America, which is strange to think about.
Yeah.
I like him, but not for Captain America.
Captain America, Jim Halpert.
It'd be very strange.
Yeah. And then she was almost Black Widow.
She was. I feel like she was probably up for Captain Marvel too.
I would have liked her for Captain Marvel.
Yeah, I like Brie Larson. I know a lot of people don't like that I like her, but I find Brie Larson quite charming in that role.
Yeah. People are like, oh, she's emotionless. I'm like, that's literally what the character was.
But also, she's not. Like, she's very charming in that movie.
Yeah, and I was going to say, she was goofy at some points.
Yeah.
So I didn't even
She's just
understand what
very
people
nice.
were talking about, yeah.
She's like endearing the same way Captain America is. Like maybe a little less so because we don't really know the character that much, but like it's the same kind of vibe. In the same way Doctor Strange gives off that like Tony Stark vibe.
Yeah.
So. But anyway, yeah, John Krasinski, we meeting with Marvel. Very excited for him probably being Reed Richards. I've grown on the idea. I used to not be 100% on board with it, but I'm okay with it.
Yeah, so am I.
Marvel Netflix news. So, this list was posted by I think comicbookmovie.com, where it gives the dates that Marvel Studios is allowed to use the Netflix characters again. So, this is in order of the dates. Yes, that's how dates work. So, first off, Iron Fist, October 12th, 2020. His rights will revert back to Marvel Studios.
That is soon.
Very soon. Because I guess
He was the first.
he had his last season first, I guess.
Yes, and that was just because... I'm trying to think. I don't know if Luke Cage came before him or after him, but I think Luke Cage came before him, season 2, and I think he was the last one to get a second season, because I think they canceled him then and there.
Right.
Or, like, I think they canceled that and Luke Cage around the same time.
Okay. Well, anyway.
Alright, I need to know. I'm gonna Google it.
Yeah. Luke Cage, October 19th, 2020.
Oh, yeah, so, okay.
Yeah, so...
Yeah,
so
they canceled within a week, yeah.
Yeah. Next up, November 29th, 2020, Daredevil. Just in time for him to join the fifth Spider-Man sequel.
Wait, November 29th, 2020?
Yes.
Interesting. Oh, yeah, because they... Iron Fist came out right before Daredevil.
Right.
That makes sense.
February 18th, 2021, The Punisher.
That makes sense because that's when they waited a little bit for him, or that's
Right.
when his came out.
Right. Yeah, because it was a 2 year 2 year gap that they had to wait.
Right.
And finally, February 18th, 2021, Jessica Jones. So, yeah, I'm very excited for all these characters to do something again, especially Daredevil,
Yeah, me too.
who's easily the best of all of them.
Oh yeah, I just checked the dates because it was driving me crazy. Luke Cage did come out before Iron Fist, and Iron Fist was the last one to get a season 2.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So they waited, I think, so all the season 2s were done, besides Punisher.
Okay.
Oh, okay, so Iron Fist technically wasn't. Out of the
So,
original 4.
so yeah, very very exciting news. I love some of those shows.
I'd love to see Punisher and Moon Knight, like John Bernthal with whoever's playing Moon Knight.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we'll see these characters pop up as soon as possible.
Yeah, I just hope it's with the same actors.
I'm sure it will be. Yeah, especially Daredevil and Punisher though.
Because they all have a. They used to. I don't know if the contracts changed now, but they all had a contract for one movie, which is why I was like so excited for them to possibly be in Infinity War or Civil War
There
or
really should have been
Endgame.
an Endgame.
I agree, especially when like
There really should
in
have been.
when Doctor Strange is like, "Is this it?" and he's like, "You wanted more." He should have been like, "Yeah, the Defenders," and just like opened his own portal for all of them to walk through.
Yeah, you remember when that building fell in New York?
Wait, what? Oh yeah, that took me a
That's just,
second.
it's just never referenced by the wider universe.
Yeah, a whole building collapsed.
Oh, God.
Iron Man was like, "I'm making more suits."
Anyway.
Or no. He's just he's like, "I have to take care of the Spider Kid now."
Uh, anyway, yeah, very excited. I hope Daredevil is in Spider-Man 3.
I'd love a Team Red movie, not movie, but like a reference.
Is that like the Thunderbolts?
No, it's just like people in red costumes. It's Daredevil,
Oh, okay.
Deadpool, and Spider Man.
I was gonna say there was the Red Thunderbolts from a couple of years ago.
Oh yeah, they were cool.
Yeah.
I love how Agent Venom was in that, and he just turned his white spider to red. He's
Yeah.
like, "Now I'm one of you guys."
And like the leader was red.
Yeah,
Strange time.
totally different person, I think,
Oh, well. That
because
explains it.
they called him Red Leader. So I'm assuming it's a different person, but
Anyway. Next up, Sam Raimi is confirmed for Doctor Strange 2.
woot woot.
Very excited about this.
I've
I hope they don't fuck him over.
I hope it's better than the Spider-Man movies.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I just hope it like Doctor Strange isn't very like he's prominent, but he's not like like people love Thor, people love Iron Man. Like those directors were able to bring new life to the character. I hope he can do the same thing for Doctor Strange.
Well, he certainly did that with Spider-Man.
True.
Yeah, he's a great horror director, so this bodes well for the potential direction of that movie.
I was gonna say thought they said it was and then wasn't.
Yeah, they go back and forth a lot. Um, but yeah, like he said in an interview, like yeah, I've always been a huge Doctor Strange fan, and like mentioning him in Spider-Man 2 was like that was just like without the idea that I'd ever actually be working on this movie. So it's cool that he's excited for it. And
Life's
he
got a funny way
trusts
of working that way.
studios after they really fucked him over on Spider-Man 3. But it's good that he has no trust issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, very excited for that. It's a shame Scott Derrickson isn't coming back, but he's still on as a producer. Hopefully he still can get a word in. But
Yeah. Is Ben Affleck still a producer of the Batman? I don't know what made me. I was
I
just
don't think so. I
yeah.
think he's removed himself from that entirely, and I don't blame him.
Okay, because I remember he was when he was still in it, and I was like, now that he's not in it, is he still gonna be?
So speaking of Doctor Strange, we have an updated slate of releases for Marvel, adjusted for the Black Widow delay.
Corona.
So basically, everything is just shifted back one date. So Black Widow is November 6th, 2020. The Eternals, February 12th, 2021. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, that is May 7th, 2021. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, November 5th, 2021. Thor Love and Thunder, February 18th, 2022. Black Panther 2, May 6th, 2022. And Captain Marvel 2, July 8th, 2022.
Hold on, Doctor Strange 2, it's supposed to be a summer blockbuster.
I suppose so. Um,
I think it's more fitting if it's going to go in a horror direction that it's in November.
we are going to have a very packed 2022 because, in addition to these releases, Marvel also has a mystery date for October 2022, which is almost certainly Blade, starring Mahershala Ali.
Mahershala, my man.
Very excited for that.
Yeah. Oh, and then even too, we have all the shows that are coming. That's definitely 2022.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure, like Falcon and the Winter Soldier will probably be late this year, early next year, because that had to delay filming for a little bit.
Oh, I thought they finished.
I don't think so. Oh, they announced the filming date for Moon Knight, but I just I can't remember what it was.
They gotta cast someone.
I'm sure they have. I'm sure they have someone there just kind of sitting on the release.
I hope it's. I don't know why, but I don't want it to be Daniel Radcliffe.
I don't mind that. I think he can play crazy well.
I really wanted Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
That was the dream.
Is he Jewish?
I don't. I have no idea. I'm gonna Google it though, because now I need to know.
Because
Is
I know that's a big point of contention for people. They want a Jewish actor to play Moon Knight, which understandably.
Jake's mother is Jewish and was born in New York City to a Jewish family from Russia and Poland. He has also said that he considers himself Jewish.
I watched actually just yesterday. I watched the movie Upgrade, which it's like, it's like if Venom was competently made.
Ah,
It was really good. It's like this guy is paralyzed and he gets like a like a cybernetic enhancement thing, but it like kind of takes over his body. So kind of like Venom. I think the lead in that, Logan Marshall Green, would be a really good Moon Knight
I will have to take a look into that movie.
because it's really good.
It sounds like the character upgrade from Ben 10, just with Venom. Like the name works perfectly,
Yeah.
and it's just more violent.
There's really good fight scenes, which is the kind of stuff you'd want from a Moon Knight show. So I think it could be something. And the last bit of news, which will kind of segue us into our topic for today, J.J. Abrams has signed on for 4 HBO series, one of which is Justice League Dark.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
I think that's good news. I still wish it was Guillermo del Toro doing Justice League Dark, but I'll do anything to get Justice League Dark at this point.
He would be so good at that.
Because he was scheduled to do it for the longest time.
I wonder if that's why Wizards hasn't come out yet.
Who knows?
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No clue.
So Guillermo del Toro has been producing cartoon series on Netflix, and they're like more, like they're not like kiddie cartoons. It's like those PG-13-ish cartoons.
Right.
So, and they're really good. They are really good. And the third series was supposed to come out like late 2019, and we still don't know when it's coming out.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on.
He had a script written for Justice League Dark, and there were just constant delays. By all accounts, the script was amazing. And once he dropped out, it kind of passed around directors for a little bit, as most movies stuck in limbo do, and then it just kind of disappeared for a little bit. But now it's good to finally hear some news about it.
Yeah, because I remember seeing that on like when they originally announced all the slates for the DC.
Yeah, yeah,
I remember seeing Justice League Dark, and I was like, why? Why? Like that's so like to me at the time it was very random.
yeah.
But
But it had been it's I think it's been in development since 2005.
oh, okay.
So,
Oh, if it
um,
was from then, they probably wanted to use Keanu's Constantine.
maybe. Yeah, I hope Del Toro is attached in some capacity. I also hope this is a chance for them to bring back Swamp Thing from their show.
Have you seen the show?
I haven't, but I've heard nothing but good things.
Yeah, me too. And it was because of creative differences that they canceled it.
It wasn't though. It was tax problems. Like it was just all money bullshit.
I heard it was both.
That well, they probably said creative differences, but it was all money problems.
Because I know I heard something like one person still wanted to go with horror, and then there was another head that like wanted to go in a different direction with it, and then the money problems, and then I don't know. I saw something that said the money problems were fake, but then I saw another one that saying it was both. So
I I'm much more inclined to believe the money problems. It
yeah,
was just like I think DC couldn't get tax cuts or whatever, so they're like we can't make as much money from this, so we're not going to keep doing it, which is why they cut production down to like what was it, 8 episodes instead of 10,
I
which
wouldn't
is
know. I haven't tried it.
very scummy. But yeah, I hope they bring back that Swamp Thing because by all accounts that's a very good show. I kind of hope they recast Constantine from the CW one.
Oh, he's good. I love him.
Yeah, but I think he he's not well written in those shows. I don't think.
I
So
don't disagree.
if they give him more of an edge, maybe.
See, the thing that I love about his Constantine is that not only is he in that universe, he also voices the cartoon Constantine
Yes, he
from
does.
the PG-13 Justice League Dark films, which are awesome.
Um,
Well, the second one hasn't come out yet, but
yeah.
the first one's good.
The thing I don't really like about that version of Constantine is Constantine is supposed to be the worst possible good guy. Like all the bad stuff that happens around him is his fault because he's just done something to screw someone over and save himself.
Right?
And
Yeah. No, I see what
but
you mean.
in all the shows he's like this proactive monster hunter who's like going out of his way to do good, and that's not really Constantine.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. I feel like they know that, and they're just like people won't like him.
But that, yeah, like that's how you build a character.
True.
But yeah, I'm very excited to see what they do. This could maybe tie into um, some of like the more mystical elements of the DC films, like Black Adam. I know we're supposed to maybe get an appearance from Doctor Fate, who's popped up in Justice League Dark a few times. So
That'd be
that could be
really
the
cool.
link. Really want to see Doctor Fate, which I touched on a little bit in uh, one of our episodes. It was the pitches episode. I said I wanted Doctor Fate.
Yeah, I remember. What was it? Say what you will about the DC films, but their wardrobe has been very good more often than
Yeah,
not.
yeah, yeah. We'll give that to them.
Um, so I would love to see a Doctor Fate like just suit.
Yeah, I think the Injustice one is the best version.
It's so nice.
He's very good looking. Speaking of DC films, last week we just tore them a new asshole. um,
Yeah.
and this week we are going to rebuild the DC Films universe because I feel bad. um, so I don't have any notes written down. I figured we will just talk and see how we build our universe.
I actually have notes.
All right.
Uh,
So how about where would you start, and I'll tell you where I think I would start.
Batman. I feel like you
You
have to start with Batman.
you would start with Batman. Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm. Why do you say start with Batman?
Because it's more so to explain my reasoning, I have to kind of like go into my future of it.
Mm-hmm.
So like my things like start with like street level people and then go into like the super powered, um, like cosmic tier level heroes.
Like the MCU did.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I do agree. I think you need to start smaller scale.
Yeah,
Um,
because you just like you can't like start out with the big stuff because then
no,
it's
no,
gonna
of
make the
course not.
small stuff look like, oh, it's not that bad.
Yeah, yeah, I do agree. I don't know if I would necessarily start with Batman. I would probably start with Wonder Woman or Superman, and like I would have maybe Superman, then Wonder Woman, then Batman as like a break from the more high concept stuff. So how would your Batman movie go, and how would it build into the universe?
Um, it would kind of be similar to like Matt Reeves's The Batman. It would just be like him starting out. So you could even use Matt Reeves. This could be the start of your universe if you're listening. Like you pitch it to them. Like, you can take credit. Just send me a check. But start out like with Batman starting out and like kind of getting his bearings. Towards the end, um, I didn't really have a villain in mind. Just not the Joker right away.
Yeah, makes sense.
Or Ra's al Ghul. I don't want to do him right away either.
I love Rachel Gould.
I mean, yeah. I just feel like that's so big. Like, make that like a third
Yeah, yeah, of
movie,
course. You could build to Rachel Gould.
and
Um,
then like introduce Robin as like a post credit type of thing, or just like at the end of the movie. Like maybe he could be a result of what happens, and he's like, "Oh, this kid died," and not this kid, this kid's
this kid,
parents.
this kid died. I'm gonna dress him up.
Just open the casket at the funeral. He's in a little Robin costume.
He's got
Like,
like
what
a little
happened? It was
domino
a
mask
donation
on.
from Bruce Wayne.
The Wayne Foundation. Um,
Or if they knew
yeah.
about it, like when he said he'd donate the what he'd wear, we didn't think of this.
Anyway, um, yeah. I think I would to refer back to my Batman pitch from episode 4. I would introduce Superman and Wonder Woman first, because then when you have a Batman movie, you introduce a more established Batman who's maybe been doing this 10-ish years, but he's not geriatric like Ben Affleck. And like I think when you have a more paranoid Batman who's like there are other people, like there like you do a better version of what he was trying to do in Batman versus Superman. He was like, I need to keep an eye on these people because they're powerful.
Right, that's what mine was gonna
And
eventually
it's
lead
more
to.
it's more Batman being insecure than anything, because he's like, these people are more powerful than me. I can't allow that.
Right.
And then from there you can kind of get a eventually like the Tower of Babel, but we'll get to Justice League later on. Yeah, I think like you introduce the idea that Batman's kind of like been keeping tabs on Superman and Wonder Woman, and maybe have some references to other metahumans, but don't show them in an email attachment, or create their logos for them.
Yeah. Yeah. I just get whenever you say that, I think of the Aquaman one. Oh no, just like the logo, and I'm like, how did they know that that
How
was
did
an
he make that logo?
Atlantean symbol?
How did he make that logo?
And even
Who's their
too,
product?
Cyborg didn't even have a logo until after Justice League.
Who's their graphic designer?
Terrible.
Let's say for the sake of argument we start with Superman. Superman is the first movie in the occasional Bugle cinematic universe. What do we do with Superman? How do we make him more interesting?
I don't know, cause mine, like my notes, I have it planned all the way to like Superman 3. So like I was gonna start him off with like Lex. I was originally gonna start him off with like not an alien, but like one of like a cosmic villain that just comes to Earth. But I was like, no, because why would they come to Earth? Like that's just so random. So I was just like, start him off with Lex, have Lex like use the mech, and then that's how Superman is born. And like the whole reason Superman like comes out when he comes out is just because he sees on the news like stuff about Batman, Cyborg, and the Flash, because those are my first three.
Batman, Cyborg, and Flash is your top. Wow.
Yeah, they were gonna be, because I feel like Batman could help Cyborg,
Mm-hmm.
so like he would kind of be like the Tony Stark and Peter Parker thing. Um,
Okay. Yeah.
and just like be like instead of Star Labs, it could be like a Wayne facility,
Right.
something like that. And then Flash would like introduce the superpowered part, but still kind of street level. And then Superman would come in once he saw like the Flash. He's like, "Oh, another guy with powers!" Like, because like my whole thing would be like Superman would be like afraid of like what people would think of him.
So is Superman not established?
No, he wouldn't have been established till his own movie.
Okay. See, I was thinking like you have an established Superman movie, like he's been Superman for. I don't really want any origin stories until phase 2 of my universe.
Gotcha.
Like I think the first 3 Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, they're just established. Like they are Batman, they're Superman, they're Wonder Woman. Like
Okay.
you have Superman he's the window into this universe. You get the introduction of Lex, who's one of the first, who's gonna be like, I guess the Loki, for lack of a better,
I didn't think to do that.
for the sake of comparison. Um, have Lex be our Loki. Yeah, have a Wonder Woman to kind of establish like the more supernatural parts, like the mythical stuff, the magic. Batman kind of brings it back down to earth, and you set up, like in the Batman, you could have a cameo from Superman, where he's like, "Stop spying on me."
I can just imagine that scene. He just like bursts through like his ceiling and be like, "Hey, stop
Yeah,
it!"
like he like, drops a satellite at his feet.
Yeah.
And then from there, the next movie I think I would have is the Trinity.
Ooh, that's really smart.
So you have Superman. So the first act can kind of be, um, Superman and Batman not getting along at all, and Wonder Woman being like, "What the fuck is wrong with you two?" And then we have, we could have like an Atlantean invasion of the surface,
Ooh.
and you get an introduction, like maybe Aquaman there's been a mutiny and he's been overthrown as king of Atlantis. So you kind of you introduce Aquaman in a smaller capacity, and he kind of comes out during the third act. Yeah, you get an idea. It's still an earthly threat, but it's not just Lex Luthor in armor.
Right. Okay.
So that would be my phase 1, just 4 movies.
My phase one is 8 movies.
Oh, Jesus.
It goes Batman, Cyborg, Flash, Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Green Lantern, and like Green Lantern would be like the Guardians of the Galaxy of
Okay.
like how they're in space and they're seeing more of like the bigger picture almost. Like how in Guardians 1 they like saw the Infinity Stone, there was Thanos,
Okay. Okay.
like stuff like that. Like would and I was kind of thinking about using Sinestro. I didn't like. I planned out what movies would go where. I didn't plan out what would happen in each movie. So then it's not very well thought out. Like I don't have a Loki of
It's something.
yeah. And then Justice League.
I just think in terms of having like a long-term asshole villain, like Lex fits that role perfectly.
Oh, I agree.
Cause like it's hard to kill that motherfucker.
Yeah, true. See,
No.
while we were talking, I had the idea of Sinestro. And like
Okay.
Sinestro could be like a spy for Apocalypse the entire time,
Okay.
and then he could literally be like, not literally, but like he could be the Loki.
So yeah. See, I have no plans to build Darkseid, because I'm so sick of Darkseid.
They, my
I'm sick of Darkseid, and I haven't even seen him in a movie.
my issue with DC as of like circa like a year and a half to 2 years ago is just that they keep doing the same thing on every single platform they have.
It's just Darkseid everywhere.
Yeah, it's either Darkseid or like for an example, like we got 3 or 4 cyborgs within 6 years. We got Cyborg in their animated universe. We got Cyborg in the DCEU. We got Cyborg in Young Justice. And we got Cyborg somewhere else too. And I can't remember where it was. Oh, Doom Patrol.
Yeah, but he was already established as Cyborg, right?
In Doom Patrol, I have no idea.
I think he was already he's already.
The only reason I'm not sure is because he wasn't in the Doom Patrol episode of Titans.
Yeah, he was only in the series.
Yeah, so that's why I don't know if he might have been established. I just personally don't know.
Yeah.
But it's like if he wasn't established, I'm like we got 4 Cyborg origins in the last 6 years. Like it's just
Yeah,
the oversaturation of it. If I'm using that word correctly.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, I'm so sick of Darkseid. I'm so sick of mother boxes.
Sorry.
Like it's a testament to the MCU that like I'm done with Thanos, but I'm not sick of Thanos
Right.
because he was built up.
Yeah, exactly.
But like if you're doing fucking your biggest villain in your first team up movie, like come on.
Yeah, that's what they did in
You-
the animated ones.
You have to see the problem there.
Yeah, they're doing it. I don't know. It's weird like the way they're doing it. It's weird the way they do it on different platforms. Like for the live action, they basically kind of expected audience to know like who is who almost.
Right.
And it's like that's kind of something you should be doing. Like your animated universe did that and it was fine because it was a cartoon. So pretty much anyone that watches a cartoon knows who the Justice League is. Well, anyone's into superheroes. Because that's what they did for their first one. It was a team. The first one was a team up movie. So,
Right.
and the villain was Darkseid. And it wasn't terrible. And it's like they're using him again, but it's like it's fine because they built him up a little bit. And then you have like Young Justice. Young Justice, they've been building to him for like 4 seasons. So I don't know. They just got to figure out what way they want to like do things, and then once they figure that out, that's when they should like execute that well.
So what's your Justice League team looking like? Who's going to be on your team? Because I think mine might be a little different.
Batman. I was trying to use the ones that they have right now. Like,
right. See, I did use some of them, but not all of them.
Yeah. Yeah. So similar. I used all the ones that they've established, and then just Green Lantern. And I would start with Hal Jordan.
Okay.
And I was actually thinking to have like a Scott Lang, Hank Pym situation where Alan Scott is like a mentor to Hal Jordan.
Okay, that's cool.
But I can also change that to be like
to John Stewart and Hal Jordan.
Well, no, I was just gonna say like let him like look up to Sinestro or something, and then.
Oh, yeah, you could. You could even combine those two roles. So like, combine like the Alan Scott character and Sinestro into just Sinestro.
Oh, true.
And like, cause like I know the MCU combines character traits all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah. So my Justice League team is a little different. I also have a cast written down, but it's an ideal cast. So I have Richard Madden as Superman.
He's the guy from Game of Thrones and Bodyguard, right?
He's Robb Stark. He's in Bodyguard.
Love him.
He is Icarus in the Eternals.
Yes.
So.
You know who he would be good to? Etrigan.
Yeah, he would.
He just fits the look in my opinion. Jason Blood. Sorry. Continue.
Yeah. Pattinson is Batman. No need to change that. It's perfect. I kept Gal as Wonder Woman because she's great in that role.
Mm-hmm.
I have Riz Ahmed as the Flash from Nightcrawler.
Remind me, is he the one that was also in Rogue One?
He's in Rogue One. He's the pilot.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah.
Bodhi.
He's my Barry Allen. Jason Momoa I kept, and rounding out the team is Zachary Levi as Shazam, and my Lex Luthor is James McAvoy.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a really good one.
He's not like huge, like he's kind of the more sniveling Lex Luthor, but he's still menacing.
Yeah, and he's got practice with being bald on 2 fronts.
Exactly.
Oh, that's good. What was it? See,
Yeah.
for mine, I kind of like left mine ambiguous. Like I could use Aquaman. Like I was like, I don't really need to use Jason Momoa or Gal Gadot, but I was fine. Like I was like, I didn't plan that far ahead to be like, okay, I want them, or okay, I don't want them. I do kind of want them. Like leave their entire movies like in there,
Right.
because both of well, I think I would still use Gal Gadot, but I wouldn't have used the World War I origin. I would have done like a modern take.
I like the World War One. I honestly I would keep Wonder Woman pretty much the same movie. Just change that third act to be interesting.
Gotcha, gotcha.
Um, so yeah, my you know what? I'll even say my Phase One. I'll say the Trinity is the halfway point of my Phase One instead.
Okay.
So
So wait, you were
yeah,
originally gonna do all of them and then a Trinity movie?
yeah, I was gonna do Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, Trinity, which I'm keeping. That's the first half of Phase One, and then after Trinity, I have Shazam, which is it's just the exact same movie, changed absolutely nothing about it.
Maybe I'll watch that tonight. Sorry.
I honestly I might like
It
it's so good.
is.
We talked about Shazam enough last week.
Yeah.
Um,
Such a good movie.
After Shazam, I have The Flash. It's kind of a breather from like the more high concept magic crazy stuff because we had Trinity, which had Atlanteans, and then we had Shazam, which is magic. So we kind of get a more not necessarily grounded, but a more street level thing with the Flash. I have the Rogues as the villains. So this is kind of my Guardians. Like it's just kind of a fun break.
Right.
Which I guess Shazam and Flash both are that. And is that my whole Justice League? Aquaman I introduced, yeah. And then after the Flash I have Justice League. The first one.
Okay.
So do you so pitch to me the rest of how does your phase one go?
My phase one is just Batman and then Cyborg. Cyborg like is mostly on his own, but like he gets help from Bruce Wayne. Again, like the same as Stark and Parker. Superman would kind of be, and then it would be the Flash because him being a CSI and like not like he has to help people, like that. Like that's the whole Barry Allen thing. Like he helps people no matter what. Because I think like at first like he'd want to hide his powers, because again like the whole like how would people respond to it? Like would they think he's bad? Would they try to like
Mm-hmm.
hunt him down? And then he ultimately like uses his powers, and he can get like help from like people at Star Labs or actually, you know what? No, I want to keep Cyborg in Star Labs because that's where Barry could go to get help with like his suit. And then Superman would see the Flash on the news and be like, "Okay, people are accepting of this. Like I'm gonna start like doing my thing." And then that's when Superman would come around. Then Wonder Woman, it would be like primarily in Themyscira, but then the problem would go to like the mainland of like a
Okay.
man's world, and then that's how she's introduced to the
Okay.
rest of the world. Aquaman, I would just leave Jason Momoa alone. Like he knows what's going on. He's just like I don't want any part of it, and then gets dragged into
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. See, like I have Jason Momoa as like a little more serious. He's the king of Atlantis. Like
Right,
he takes his shit seriously, but he's still Jason Momoa.
right. Okay, I like that.
So a little bit more Thor than Aquaman.
Oh, I like that a lot.
Like a cross between Thor 1 Thor and Ragnarok Thor. So like you have the goofiness, but you also have like this man is a king.
Right, right. I like that.
Yeah, because I like one of my favorite versions of Aquaman is from the Justice League cartoon. Like I think like
Hook
I
hand.
I yes hook hand. That's one of my favorite episodes where he gets the hook hand.
It's a good episode. My friend watched it after I watched it, and he just texts me, "Aquaman is the dad of the year."
Um, Deadshot's in that episode too.
Yes, I didn't realize it was him the first
Me
time I
either.
watched it, and then it's like then I like kind of learned about him, and
I
then
was
I
like,
went
oh, it's
back and watched it,
Deadshot.
and I was like, "No way!"
I like that version of Deadshot a lot.
Yeah, me too.
Um, it's a good universe.
It really is. I like that they expanded upon it with like new movies.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
Um,
okay, so you were continuing with your phase one.
so Green Lantern, I didn't really like think it over. Like I kind of want them to do like have something to do with Apocalypse.
Okay.
but at the same time, like I wanted to, like I kind of want to build up to like the Red Lanterns. So maybe I would do like the Red Lanterns and like they're going to Earth or something for some reason, or
Right.
and then that's like they'd fight alongside like Sinestro, and then Sinestro would like betray them. It's like Darkseid, like that could be like the end credit scene of Justice League.
Okay.
Like
So
he's been a spy.
Sinestro's almost your Loki.
Yeah,
Okay.
like he'll fight with them for Justice League against like Red Lanterns or whoever. I change if I was to change my mind to someone else, and then at the end of that, it'd be that. I still like don't know what I want to do with Green Lantern, but
Mm-hmm.
I would think about it before I made it. Unlike DC and some of their stuff. Anyway, that's my phase one.
The end. Yeah, the end of my phase one is Justice League. So, the idea of Brother Eye is something I established in the Batman. Like Bruce kind of has his spy satellites. Basically, at the end of um, maybe at the end of the Trinity, like that technology is taken over. Or you know what? I'll tell you my Justice League idea. So Justice League is a team up with Lex Luthor and Maxwell Lord. I kind of took some ideas from George Miller's Justice League, which we talked about a little bit last week. So I have the villains are Lex, Maxwell Lord, and the Omax. So like the robot boys that kind of take over humans to become soldiers.
Right.
So they're kind of trying to create this perfect army, and they kind of steal Batman's Brother Eye technology, which in turn gives them access to like the Justice League contingency plans.
Okay.
So they kind of they team up and kind of just fuck over the Justice League. So like a lot of it could be the League being pissed at Batman for having these plans in the first place. But yeah, but it's a little bit Avengers 1 in the sense that like you have your villains but you also have a bunch of Omax for them to beat up.
I like that a lot.
And in the end, Lex kind of pins the whole thing on Maxwell Lord, so Lex more or less gets away clean. Yeah, Lex is a long-standing character in my universe.
As he should be.
So yeah, that's all I really have planned up to Justice League. So since you don't, do you have a phase two?
Yes, I do. I
Okay,
have
let's go
planned up
ahead.
to Superman 3.
Oh my! All right, let's go with your phase two.
Start off with Batman, do a Batman sequel with
Batman.
Robin. I think I would do the Joker in that one. And like it gives him something more to lose with like if he was to kidnap Robin per se, but it would still be Dick Grayson so he wouldn't die. Which kind of prompts him to try again later with Jason Todd. And then my next one would be Suicide Squad. Because after this huge like otherworldly event that happened in Justice League, the government needs like their own group of super people to take on like stuff that they need done. So
Mm-hmm.
Suicide Squad, and like that's why I would do the Joker and Batman 2 to set up Harley Quinn. And Superman 2, I would do kind of a more cosmic villain. My heart's not set on anyone yet.
I see. I've it took everything in my power to not use Brainiac as the Justice League villain, but I need to save him
Yeah, I feel that.
because he's not a first movie villain.
Yeah, I agree with that. Then I have Wonder Woman 2, who I would kind of do not a super cosmic one, but just like a stronger. Like I kind of like the concept of her fighting Cheetah as a sequel.
Yeah.
But I would again not do it in the 80s. I would do it in modern times. Which tangent. I feel like that's just what's her name? Who's directing?
Patty Jenkins.
Yes, I feel like it's her like that's like her reason to just make a movie by herself instead of having to connect it because she's just like let's just do it another time period since they
Yeah,
don't
I mean, fair
exist. Yeah.
enough. Don't let them fuck your movie over, Patty.
Yeah.
You're better than this.
Um so then I would do Aquaman 2, which kind of just let them do what they're doing with Jason Momoa. Flash 2, I would do probably the reverse Flash and like just have him in either one movie or two movies. I'm not set on that yet. Then I would do Shazam. I would do Zachary Levi's Shazam. And then Green Lantern 2, which would involve Sinestro's betrayal. And then Justice League
Okay.
2. and I think I would maybe do. I don't know if I want to do like I don't know really who I want to do for Justice League 2. I might do Lex Luthor, but like the reason I did Shazam so late is because I didn't want to like my one complaint with Marvel is that like they introduce certain characters like new ones and then you don't see them again for years. Like Ant
Yeah.
Man, you didn't see Ant Man for 3 years after they introduced him because it was right after the
Yeah.
Avengers 2. So I was like get the Shazam there, and then you skip him. Like he's not in the next movie, but he's in the one after that. Because he would then join the Justice League, and like Batman would be my like Nick Fury of this universe, and he'd go to like each and every person and recruit them. Like so,
Batman does that?
yeah, in mine,
Okay.
similar to how he did in uh Justice League. Excuse me, but like better,
Okay.
because like the way I'm gonna do it is like Batman's still gonna be a little bit older than like the Flash and Cyborg. Like I was thinking, Cyborg clearly teenager, because he is in high school when the accident happens, and then the Flash would just be like young 20s, and I could see Batman being like late 20s. So he's still
Yeah.
like older than them, and they're like they look up to him. Then Superman and Wonder Woman
I'd
would be like
say
the same age as him.
yeah. I would say my Batman's maybe early mid 30s.
Okay.
So like he started maybe like in his I would say he trained throughout his teens into his early 20s, and he's kind of been doing this for the better part of a decade.
Right. Okay.
So he's seen some stuff.
Right.
Yeah. What else do you have?
Then I just have Justice League 2, and then that's kind of it. Um,
Okay.
what was it? And like I can see eventually like Cyborg, and then because I kind of want Cyborg and Dick Grayson to be the same age, because then
Mm-hmm.
they could go off and do their own thing with like the Titans. They wouldn't do Teen Titans; they would just do Titans, because like they'd be in their late teens when they start out, so it
Right.
wouldn't make sense. And they could eventually make the Teen Titans with like younger versions, like once like Tim Drake could be introduced.
Yeah. I'm like I'm like scrambling to write down all the ideas that are popping into my head.
I have
Um.
more if you want me to keep going to give you more time.
Yeah. Sure. Keep going.
Okay, so Superman 2 introduced Kara.
Okay. Very good.
Because then the only other two movies I kind of have planned are Batman 3 and then Superman 3. That's all I got to. Um, Superman 3 would be Death of Superman. Because at this
Interesting.
point it would be like if I did 2 or 3 movies a year, then it's like 6 or 7 years.
Okay.
So give that actor a break. I mean, they could always come back because like Superman dies and then comes back. But if it's like a whole Captain America situation where he just doesn't like want to do it anymore, or, like wants to move on, then I would just like kill him off and let Kara take over.
Okay.
And actually, I kind of want to stick with that and just like have her take over, and then she would like take his seat at the Justice League table.
That's cool. I like that. I like that.
Thank you. You know what? I kind of want to build up to the Red Lanterns, because then they could be like the
Okay.
Justice League 3, but the Red Lanterns could be working for Darkseid at the entire time, and then that's how. Oh, okay. So Kara, once Cal dies, she gets enraged, and she becomes a Red Lantern. The Red
Ooh.
Lanterns can already be established from Green Lantern 2, and then
Interesting.
so they're like Hal comes back, he's like, guys, like we need to like there's stuff going on, and then she becomes a Red Lantern, but she doesn't like actually side with them. Like it's not like a plan for her to be a Red Lantern. It happens, and then they just take advantage of it. So then she becomes like a spy for them, and then that's how like they find things out, and then she could like get discovered, and then they have to rescue her, and that's like the plot of like Justice League 3, and then it's basically like an all-out war. And like honestly, at the same time, I would introduce characters in shows like Green Arrow, like more street
Okay.
level. But yeah, like I'd put like Green Arrow in there somewhere. I would kind of want to fit Doctor Fate in somewhere, maybe before Justice League 3, similar to how Doctor Strange, basically. Um, like you could do like an Atom TV show. Honestly, I wouldn't even be opposed to like a Batman and Robin like TV show in between,
Yeah. I've always liked the idea of something like that.
because that it would kind of like let you get rid of, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but like get rid of Dick Grayson earlier, because
Yeah,
then it's
yeah,
like you got to go by like each movie.
yeah, yeah.
So if there's like enough time in between Batman and Batman 2, you can just like have him grow with Bruce, and then by the time the next movie comes around, like he's ready to move on and he has another Robin. And
Okay.
then he gets Jason Todd, and then you could still do Batman and Robin. It's just with Jason Todd now, and it's like they don't, and like Dick doesn't leave on bad terms. He's just ready to do his own thing, and then you give him
Okay.
his own show. I'm a genius. Sorry, I like what I'm doing right now. Um, so I've been talking for
Yeah,
a while. You go.
yeah. I got some ideas. So, my phase two. I would start with Batman two. Um, I would introduce Robin, because like Batman kind of starts to realize after the whole Justice League situation, he's kind of a terrible person, and like the whole point is like he has Robin now to kind of keep him in check. Like Robin's like his moral compass in a sense.
Right.
Um, I would go I'd go Dick Grayson because he's he's like a relatively young Dick Grayson too. So like you kind of have that fun like kid and adult dynamic, and you can kind of see Robin grow over the course of the movies. And I have Aquaman. I just wrote do crazy underwater stuff. Um, Flash two, Reverse Flash, time travel, interdimensional travel question mark, which kind of sets up. I don't know what I'd have in between all this, but at the end of phase two, I have Justice League 2, which is the crime syndicate.
Oh, I like that, especially that it goes with the interdimensional travel
Exactly.
part. Yeah.
It's set up in the Flash, and I like in a split second I thought, okay, like I know Justice League 2. Oh my god, I know Justice League 3 now.
Yeah.
So
That's why like you
so
gotta
with the
plan it
crime,
out. Like DC didn't
yeah,
do that. Like they're just like eventually like we'll get to there, but like let's just throw out
yeah,
movies.
yeah. But yeah, Justice League 2 I would have eventually in Justice League 2 I would have the crime syndicate. Um and when you have the concept of different realities and you have a whole nother phase of movies, do you know what we get at the end of phase three as our big kind of end game conclusion?
Is it Dark Side?
We get Crisis.
Oh, that's better.
Because we'll have a ton of characters introduced by then, and with the concept of different dimensions and realities, we have the Anti Monitor.
No, I like that a lot.
All
That'd be
right.
really cool.
Yeah. And because I still need to introduce, I want to introduce two more main League members by Crisis. I want to introduce Green Lantern and Martian Manhunter.
I didn't even think of him.
An idea I had was throughout phase two, you kind of get recurring cameos from the same like one actor who's kind of he just shows up in the background of a lot of different movies, and you kind of establish that that's Martian Manhunter scouting.
Okay. I like that.
I wanted to tie it in with the crime syndicate, but I don't know how I would do that.
I had another idea.
Oh,
If you were finished. If you were not finished.
yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So so you know how I said Batman would be like my Nick Fury, like connecting everybody?
Sure.
So I kind of want to like branch off of that and be like Alfred is the one that does it. Just get Alfred involved like a lot, and just like he'll go like after the whole thing with Cyborg, like that's like it could still be Star Labs, but like that's how he gets involved. He sends Alfred there and it's like, "Hey, heard you're having some trouble with something. We would like to talk to you."
They're like, who are
Yeah, and
you?
uh, and then he just like says he's like, "Oh, I'm from Wayne Tech" or something like that. Um, and then like that's how like they find the Flash. Like it's just Alfred in his apartment. Or he'll just show up at his apartment and like or just slide something underneath the door or something like that. And Superman he'd like visit the Kents. Uh
You think of who I have casted as Alfred because I really like this.
isn't it great? Isn't it awesome? Um
I have David Thewlis as
I have
Alfred.
no what has he been in?
He played Ares in Wonder Woman.
Oh, yeah, he'd be good. I don't know how he would get in touch with Wonder Woman and Aquaman. I feel like we'd be at a point where like Batman and Superman would go with him.
I, li- I just love the idea of Bruce making this old ass man go across the country to talk to kids for no reason.
Well, I'm thinking more like a Jeremy Irons age Alfred.
No, I want like Tim Burton, Michael Gow, Alfred, like old as fuck. He has a cane.
He just comes off the platform and it's just that would be funny, but I don't know. Like in recent years, like I've seen like a lot of Alfred. He's kind of like a badass, and he's not that much older than Bruce.
Yeah, see, that's why I want David Thewlis because I want that old school Alfred where he's a butler, but he can also like get stuff done.
Yeah, and that's what I'm kind of going for.
Yeah, like I'm kind of sick of the like greasy car mechanic Alfred.
Yeah, I don't like the old decrepit Michael Caine. I love Michael
Oh,
Caine, but
see that's my favorite
yeah,
Alfred.
no, he's great.
I want to cross between Michael Caine and Jeremy Irons.
Yeah, I just love
'Cause
Jeremy Irons so much.
I think Jeremy Irons is too far in the other direction, where it's like the greasy Cockney Alfred, even though Michael Caine is a lot more Cockney than Jeremy
I was
Irons.
gonna say, Jeremy Irons isn't really Cockney.
I'm talking about culturally Cockney.
Oh, okay.
Please.
Um, yeah, no, I love Jeremy Irons. Um,
Yeah, yeah. He was good. He was very
definitely his look. I would like his look.
good. Yeah, he's always got like coveralls on
Yeah, like the Taylor look.
or like a butcher's
Yeah.
apron for some reason.
Um, so yeah, I'd kind of have him reach out to everybody, just because I feel like Bruce Wayne would be too busy to do it himself. Because he's either Batman or he's like at Wayne Enterprises.
Nah, he doesn't care about Wayne Enterprises. He's asleep in all his meetings.
Well, see, mine does a little bit. Just a little bit. Like it's just to keep up appearances. That's really it. So like that's why he can't like
See,
fly
mine-
across the country. He's like, oh, I'm gonna send my butler on an errand because that's not suspicious.
But see, like it fits with the Bruce Wayne character because it's like, I don't care about this. I'm gonna fly across the country.
Okay, that's fair.
Um,
See,
yeah, I had him like he really only uses Wayne Enterprises to fuel his Batman shenanigans. Like when he builds Brother Eye and the satellites and shit to spy on the League.
I like that. See,
So like it's only self-service.
gotcha. See, my like, I don't remember. Like the only Batman cartoon I watched growing up was the Batman.
Good show.
Yeah, I agree. A lot of people were like, "No, it's a terrible."
Underrated.
Yeah, I think it's very underrated.
No, I think the general consensus is that it's very underrated.
I think a lot of people didn't like the Joker.
Yeah, I didn't really.
I love the Joker in that. I don't know why.
I thought it was okay.
Yeah. So like that's the only kind of experience I have with like Batman and Alfred. So and like by that like I mean like him with like Wayne Enterprises, but I don't remember the show very well.
Mhm.
So I don't remember a lot of his interactions with Wayne Enterprises because in literally everything else that I've been exposed to, it like doesn't exist.
Okay.
Like Young Justice, it's not in because of course it's not, and then any of the animated movies, it's not really a thing. In the comics, it's like he's just Batman all the time. So yeah, that's why like I don't really know how he interacts with his company as well. But
Yeah, so like my kind of window into that would be the Dark Knight, where he's like falling asleep in board meetings and shit.
oh okay,
So I'm trying to think of how I can pad out my universe more, because literally like I planned out my entire Phase 1, and then it's just like, okay, 2 more Justice League movies, and like I can't do that obviously.
right.
So I need more stuff in between Justice. I need a full phase in between my Justice League movies because I only have 3 movies written.
Got you.
I might move Flash up to like the midpoint.
I don't know if you noticed, but did you notice that I didn't give Cyborg a second movie?
No.
It's just kind of like he would be like the Incredible Hulk. Like, not saying that his movie would suck, but there's not much you can do with him. So let's just leave him
So
to
we're gonna
Justice
plan
League.
for this movie to be bad.
Well, I would have him do more stuff with like Dick Grayson.
Heyo.
Let me just clarify that.
That's a hell of a cyborg sequel.
Um, yeah.
So he's on your Teen Titans then?
Well, he'd be on my Titans because they'd be like 17, 18. Because like I would age up Dick Grayson to be his age.
Okay.
Um,
You could even have like Cyborg and Nightwing as buds, like managing a team of Teen
yeah, and
Titans.
that would be my plan. And
Like they're kind of like the big boy figureheads.
yeah, exactly. And then
And then you could have like Batgirl, you could have Donna Troy, Aqualad.
see, I'm trying to figure out where I want Barbara Gordon. I think I would probably put her in Batman 2 with like Jason Todd and
I was thinking of having a Batgirl movie in somewhere because I like the idea of her getting her own movie.
me too. I would just kind of like want to set her up first.
Yeah, see, like I would set her up in her own movie, like have her be kind of like obsessed with being like Batman, and like have cameos from Batman where he's like "fuck off,"
Oh, true. That would actually be really good. I like that a lot.
and then at the end he's kind of like, okay, you can do this, but you have to like you're not doing this on your own. Join these Teen Titans.
Well, I could see him taking. I could see like for his sidekicks, like the trial run is working with him, and then if you
Yeah,
can't work with him, you can't. Which kind of makes sense. If you can't keep up with like a regular hero, like why should you basically be your own?
and like for Batgirl, you could do like a lower tier Batman villain
Ki-
that they kind of have to team up and take
Kite
down.
Man,
Not that low.
Condiment King.
Nah. Yeah, perfect.
Oh,
No, I was thinking like someone more street level, like Two Face or
yeah,
Black
right,
Mask.
right. Like, well, even too, like you could just do like the Falcons.
True, true. I want like a really I want Batgirl to kind of be like the Homecoming,
Oh, okay.
like a much lighter tone, like a very much a big departure from like the Batman movies, which are a lot more grim and serious.
Right, her
Like you
she because
have,
she would be like the brightness in his life.
and she could kind of bounce off of Batman,
Oh, her and Jason Todd
who's
would go so well together. Not like as like a couple, but like he's kind of like broody and like negative.
yeah. So when do we kill him?
Oh, that would work so well with what I wanted to do. I wanted to do League of Assassins or League of whatever they're called. Um, I wanted to do them for Batman 3. So if they were to kill him and bring him back, like that could be the end of like 3. Like he'll die in
Okay,
3 with the Joker.
right.
Um, or you know what? No, screw the Joker for the second movie. Joker will be the third, or he could
Okay.
just do both. I'm okay with that. I don't know what I want to do for
Um,
that, but
I had a
um,
very wild
I would
idea
have him
for
kidnap
Jason Todd.
Jason Todd and then kill him in 3.
Okay. So I had an idea for Jason Todd that is a fairly big departure from the comics. I would change the order of the Robins.
Interesting.
I would have Jason Todd be the first Robin. So like in that, so you know how I said my Batman is established.
Right.
Well, in that 10 years, you had Jason Todd, who was a lot closer in age to Batman. So it was like a brother relationship instead of father and son.
Right.
And then Jason dies, and Batman's like fuck off, like I'm not working with anyone anymore. And then he kind of gets all paranoid and sets up all the League spying and stuff. And then like he starts to realize he's a bad person, and then he gets Dick Grayson in the Batman sequel,
Aw.
and you kind of learn more about like his past with Jason, and like you kind of build that character for Batman, where like he shuts down, but he becomes more accepting, because like I want to have like a full Bat family,
Right.
and so in Batman 3 you can kind of do Red Hood.
I think that would be my 4.
Okay.
Just because like you and I are doing different orders.
Yeah.
So yeah. You know what I would do for my three? Actually, I would introduce I think Barbara Gordon in three,
Okay.
so that way she can like be there for Bruce when Jason dies.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, he picks. Oh, so it could be like a whole like the Dark Knight situation where you pick Harvey or the girl, and
Mm-hmm.
he picks Batgirl over Robin.
Ooh.
Some like something like that.
So he lets Jason kablooey.
Not kablooey, but maybe it could be something. Oh, that would make it better. Okay, so my pitch. Batman thinks the two of them are together, like in the same like warehouse where he go where
Right.
so but he goes there, only Batgirl's there, but there's a camera and a TV, and then like the Joker Skypes him, and
He does a Zoom
yeah,
call.
essentially, um, and then he shows him Robin, he shows him beat up, and he lies to Robin, saying that Bruce picked Batgirl over him. So
Ooh.
then Jason dies thinking that, which then brings his motivations to wanting to like hurt and or kill Bruce in Batman 4. Like that's going to be his
Right.
motivation. He's like, you saved her instead of me, and then why is he still it would the one thing would just go like the whole relationship between him and the Joker would be different, cuz like that's the whole reason he hates Batman is because like he didn't kill the Joker after he died.
So you're kind of going the more Arkham Knight route.
I think so. I haven't played Arkham Knight or know what happens.
That's not to spoil it, but that's kind of what happens.
Wait, explain.
Like Joker has Jason captive, and he's like Batman's not coming to save you. Like he abandoned you.
Oh, okay. So I guess yeah.
Yeah.
For those that think I
I
plagiarized that, I did not know that at all.
for I love the Jason Todd motivation where it's just like the one from the animated movie where it's like I forgive you for not saving me, but why the hell is the Joker still alive?
Yeah, that's like the one thing like I'm like kind of struggling with in that sense, cuz I'm like,
Yeah.
do I want that or do I want him to feel abandoned and then that be his motivation for Bruce?
I mean, you could still have him resent the Joker because the Joker still tortured him.
True, but it's like just not like the same and I kind of liked that, but I don't know.
Yeah. I think the motivation works better when he's like I forgive you for not saving me, but I can't forgive you for keeping him alive.
I just thought of a way that could work. Jason learns the truth halfway through the film and then gets to that. He's like, then why is he still alive?
Ooh.
And then that's what makes him still hate Batman.
Interesting.
I want to do this so badly, but it'll
We've
never
just been talking
happen.
about Batman. um
Hello?
Trying to think of anything else we can really do for in terms of universe building.
Hello? Uh oh. Are, are, are you back?
Did you die? God damn it. This is such a disaster.
Okay, so I figured out when it happened. Like when it happens. When I see the audio file on Audacity start to lag, I'm like, oh no. uh,
Oh, God. We went from our most focused episode we ever had to
yeah, we're
this.
just cutting out. All right, listeners, we are trying our best. So I hope that is across. Like we're trying
We're working with what we've got.
and we're doing a good job.
Are we?
It's not our fault.
Oh,
Oh,
anyway.
but yeah, I want to do this so badly, but it'll never happen.
I would love to work for DC.
Like we should just be hired to like they need a Elseworlds department. Fill in all those Earths.
Facts. I'll work for you
Yo, Earth
for the
34,
money.
they're only 52, so they just need one person per each.
Not in my universe.
Oh,
We got them infinite universes, baby.
got you.
We got the anti-monitor pulling up.
You know what works for your interdimensional travel too? If you have
Mm.
like, there's a whole thing right now in the comics that like while is like a multiverse, there's only one dark side.
Ooh,
So
that's cool.
that could be definitely like an aspect if you like for when you use them.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. When I use him. I'm sure I will use him at some point.
Yeah, I figured I was like, he won't use them right away.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's that interesting to do as like a big bad.
Yeah, if they didn't do like him so much recently, I'd be like, yeah, he's the
I'd probably
Thanos, which he is. He's the Thanos for them,
he is the
but
Thanos, yeah. But
they have so many
like
big
he's
villains.
like I think the anti-monitor would be a much more. And yeah, maybe it is too soon to do Crisis for my universe, but it's like it's my end game.
Right,
Like it's my big first saga finale. So,
right. See, I would want like an all-out war for mine.
yeah.
Um, I hope that didn't get in there. So,
Oh,
my phone went off, and I saw a little thing on my audio file, and I was like, oh no. Um, but yeah, no, I just kind of want like a war for mine. So that's
yeah.
why like I would do like the Red Lanterns in Apocalypse, because like you could have the Red Lanterns in space and like the Apocalypse forces on the ground.
Right.
So that'd be cool.
So, what are some things we've learned today?
We're better than the DCEU.
Well, it just it takes the smallest amount of planning. Or not even that. It takes a lot of planning to make something this big, and that's something DC didn't do. They just like no tact with anything at all. It was just what's a big thing we can end up doing.
Which is really ironic because you would think that the like reverse would have happened with Marvel and DC. With Marvel having all those different directors, you'd think it wouldn't have gone as well as it did. But with DC, you had one director. Except, well, you had two because Patty Jenkins, but you primarily had one director, and you couldn't keep
Right.
a good story.
Right. Because I think with Marvel they did such a good job of keeping like their final narrative out of the spotlight for a while, but still like letting the viewers know that like yeah, this is what's coming.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that has to just do with like Kevin Feige's oversight. So like even though they had directors, they
Yeah.
had like an overseeing entity over everything, which is what DC needed.
And the unfortunate case was pretty much Zack Snyder.
Yeah, like I know like Jeff Johns was somewhat involved, but it's like he was trying to do like Jeff Johns was like the head of DC.
Jeff Johns was just trying to tell every Jeff Johns story ever.
Yeah, and it's like because I think he was trying to write because he was trying to do Doomsday Clock, but because he was doing everything else, he couldn't do Doomsday Clock. It's like that got pushed back months, maybe even a year. Um, I know he was like doing stuff with the TV. I think I don't know about that for sure, but I know he was doing comics. He was doing I think the animated stuff, and
Yeah.
then I know
His
he was doing like the movie stuff too. And it's just like how much can you ask this man to do?
yeah.
So then he stepped down. Now he's
He's
just writing again. And I was like, you know what? Good for you, man. Like you're a good
he's
storyteller.
far too busy for his own good.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it was thrust upon him
Yeah, yeah.
because it's like even though he was the head of DC, like his higher ups were Warner Brothers, and they're like, we want you to do this.
Yeah. Because they wanted a name. They wanted like, oh, we got Jeff Johns, like one of the biggest DC writers of the last few decades,
Yeah,
to come on board and oversee our universe.
which would have been great if he was doing nothing else.
Yeah, but he was still Jeff Johns, writer for DC. Like
Exactly. Like that's why like it was good that they had Kevin Feige overseeing it because like
yeah,
Kevin Feige doesn't do any of that.
And also, Kevin Feige really loves this stuff.
Exactly. Like you need like a fan that's good at this type of stuff.
Yeah. A fan who will tell a good story and not just fan fiction.
So I think you cut out again.
And we cut out again.
Yep.
I'm sorry, guys. Blame the Rona.
I blame the Rona. I blame Discord.
Maybe we'll try Skype or something next
Maybe.
time. Or
Wait,
Zoom.
do you have Spectrum?
What the hell is that?
Okay, so no. It's a provider for like yeah.
Oh, that's Spectrum.
Yeah.
Um,
No, because as of today, like they went down yesterday. Like my class got cut in half because my professor has Spectrum and she couldn't get anything to work.
yeah, maybe we'll give Zoom a try next
Yeah,
time. Or Skype or something.
yeah, we'll try something.
Will you? Because I do feel bad that it's like it's just cutting out so much.
Oh, me too. I feel bad too for when you edit.
Yeah, I definitely edit these. But yeah. So I guess any final words on universe building? We'll definitely do a part 2 of this somewhere down the line.
Yeah.
We can kind of build on our ideas more. But yeah. Any final thoughts, really?
Not really. No. I like what we both have. I would love to see both our universes come to fruition.
Absolutely. And I'm glad that DC. I hate that DC learned their lesson, but I'm glad that DC learned their lesson. And they're kind of building from the ground up again.
Yeah, which is good.
Yeah. So where they go from here, we shall see. But anyway, Jonathan, where can they find us?
You can find us on Instagram at occasionalbugle. You can find Andrew on Twitter at
Big Goat on Campus.
yes.
Yeah, we've kind of got a more regular output schedule, so we're going to try to get these out every Monday.
Yeah, so
So hopefully you're listening to this on Monday.
yeah, hopefully, yes.
Ideally.
And then we're gonna try
you-
to do YouTube. That's gonna be a weekend plan.
Yes, that is still in the works.
So
If you like the show, tell a friend. That's the best way to get more ears on this.
yes, please tell your friends, tell your family. It's quarantine, so not a lot to do.
Quarantine, you have no excuse not to.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. you have more important things to do than listen to us talk about comics.
But we would appreciate it if you did.
We much appreciate
Very
it.
appreciated.
And until next time, thank you for listening.
Bye.
Bye-bye.